Taurus, I need to start by being brutally honest with you. Someone is coming. And when I say you're not prepared, it's not because you're weak or incapable. It's because nobody is prepared for the kind of person who will enter your life in 2026. There simply isn't enough preparation for someone who will turn everything upside down, someone who will question every certainty you've built, someone who will make you doubt everything you thought you knew about yourself. You've been waking up feeling different, looking in the mirror and recognizing less of the person who's there, feeling an emptiness that nothing seems to fill. And you've been trying to ignore it because it's easier to pretend everything's okay than to admit that something inside you is already preparing for a change that hasn't even arrived yet. But here's the truth. No one will tell you. That person won't arrive when you're ready. They'll arrive precisely when you're still trying to convince yourself that you don't need anything or anyone. When you're still clinging tightly to that life you've built, that routine that gives you a sense of control, those walls you've erected to protect yourself, and then they'll appear, and all of that will crumble. Not violently, but in an even more frightening way, naturally, as if those walls never made sense. Now take a deep breath with me, because what's coming next is going to affect you. This person who's coming isn't ordinary. It's not just another relationship, another crush, another story. This is different. It's someone who will look at you in a way no one ever has before. Someone who will see through your defenses as if they were made of glass. Someone who will touch wounds you didn't even know existed. And you're going to hate it. You'll resist with all your might. Because Taurus doesn't like to be exposed. Taurus doesn't like to lose control. Taurus doesn't like to admit they need someone. But let me ask you something. How long has it been since you truly felt anything? And I'm not talking about superficial happiness or fleeting sadness. I'm talking about feeling intensely, about having your heart race for something other than anxiety, about feeling that flutter in your stomach, that adrenaline rush, that sensation of being truly alive. You've become accustomed to the lukewarmness, to the security of the predictable, to the false peace of a life without surprises. And while that protected you for a while, now it only imprisons you. This person is coming precisely to break that, to pull you out of this comfort zone that has become a death zone. Because you're not living, Taurus, you're surviving. You're on autopilot. You get up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. And you call that life. But life isn't that. Life is intensity. It's risk. It's that feeling of not knowing exactly what comes next, but wanting to find out anyway. And this person who will arrive in 2026 will force you to remember that, will force you to feel it again. And here's what's most frightening. You won't be able to control this situation. No matter how hard you try, and you will try, there's no possible control. Because when someone truly affects you, when someone touches such deep places within you, no strategy will work. No defense will hold. No wall will be high enough. You will be vulnerable, completely exposed. And that terrifies you, doesn't it? The idea of not having control over what you feel, over what happens, over where it will lead. But let me tell you a secret that will change your perspective. This vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the opposite. It's having the courage to be real, to show who you are without filters, without defenses, without masks. And when you do that, when you finally allow yourself to be truly seen, something magical happens. You discover that you don't need to be perfect to be loved, that you don't need to have everything under control to be valued, that your flaws, your doubts, your imperfections are exactly what makes you human. And this person will teach you that. Now pay attention, because this is crucial. You have a choice to make. You always have. You can continue living the way you're living, protected, safe, alone. Or you can open yourself to the possibility that there's something bigger waiting for you. And I know the first option seems safer. It seems more sensible. It seems like what any rational person would do. But tell me something. How many nights do you spend awake feeling empty? How many times do you look at your life and think, that's all there is to it? How many times do you feel like something is missing, but you don't know what? This person who is coming is exactly what's missing. Not because you're incomplete. You don't need anyone to feel complete. But because there are parts of you that only awaken in the presence of someone specific. Parts that have remained dormant, hidden, suffocated. And when that person appears, those parts will begin to awaken, and you will recognize yourself less, but at the same time, you will know yourself more deeply than ever before. And you know what's even crazier about all this? There's a reason this person arrived precisely in 2026. It's not by chance, it's not luck. It's because you needed to go through everything you've been through so far. Every disappointment, every pain, every moment you felt alone, even surrounded by people, all of that prepared you, taught you, shaped you. And now you're at a point in life where you can recognize something real when it appears, where you can value something profound, where you can choose courage instead of fear. But there's a problem. You're still stuck in old patterns. You're still operating from wounds that haven't healed. You're still repeating behaviors that protected you in the past, but now only limit you. And when that person arrives, those patterns will directly conflict with what you're feeling. Your head will say one thing, your heart will scream another, and you'll be paralyzed in the middle, not knowing which voice to listen to. So let me give you a valuable piece of advice. When you reach this point, when you feel this inner conflict, choose your heart, always, because your head only knows the past. It only knows how to protect you based on what has already happened. But your heart knows the future. It senses the possibilities. It sees what can be, not just what was. And this person who is coming represents precisely that, the future. Something new, something you have never experienced before. And here's something no one told you about meeting someone who truly matters. It's not comfortable. It's not easy. It's not the romantic fantasy they sold you. It's challenging. It's confusing. It's scary. Because this person will ask you questions you've avoided your whole life. They will expose truths about yourself that you've hidden. They will force you to look at aspects of yourself that you'd rather ignore. And that will affect you in ways you can't imagine. But that's exactly where the transformation happens. Not in the comfort zone, not when everything is easy and predictable, but when you are forced to confront yourself, to grow, to evolve. And that person will be your mirror. They will reflect back to you everything you need to see, accept, and transform. And you may hate that at first. You may resist, you may try to run away, but if you stay, if you have the courage to face it, on the other side, there is a version of you that you didn't even know was possible. Now, I want you to understand something about what it means to be unprepared. It doesn't mean you're going to fail. It doesn't mean you're incapable. It simply means that this experience will be bigger than anything you planned or imagined. It means you'll have to let go of control and trust. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust that even without having all the answers, you have what it takes to get through this. And there's something else. This person won't appear in an obvious way. There won't be flashing neon signs saying, "It's her," or "It's him." It could be someone you cross paths with on the most ordinary day possible. It could be someone from your past resurfacing in a different way. It could be someone you already know, but who will suddenly reveal themselves in a new light. And what will make you recognize them isn't their gaze, or their voice, or their words. It's the feeling, that unmistakable feeling of "this is different." And when that feeling comes, when you feel that deep recognition, don't intellectualize it. Taurus loves to intellectualize. Loves to create mental lists of reasons to do or not do something. But that doesn't work with feelings. Feelings don't obey logic. They don't follow plans. They simply exist. And you need to honor them. You need to allow them to exist without trying to control or explain them. Let me ask you a question. What are you holding on to so tightly that you can't receive anything new? Is it an old resentment? Is it a fear of being hurt again? Is it the belief that you don't deserve something good? Is it the idea that things never work out for you? Whatever it is, you need to let go, Because as long as your hands are busy holding on to the past, you can't hold on to the future. And this person who is coming represents your future. But you need to have your hands free to receive. And you know what's ironic? You've been praying for change. You've been asking the universe, God, whoever you believe exists in something greater. You've been begging for a sign, for a chance, for something to get you out of this place where you are. And now that this change is coming, now that your prayer is being answered, you're scared. Because change, even when it's exactly what we asked for, is frightening. Because change means the unknown, and the unknown means risk. But here's the truth you need to accept. Everything worthwhile in life comes with risk. There are no guarantees. There is no certainty. There is no instruction manual. You simply jump and build your wings along the way. And this person who will enter your life in 2026 will demand that leap. They will demand that you trust without certainty, that you take risks without knowing the outcome, that you be courageous even while trembling with fear. And here's what will happen when you finally allow yourself this. You will feel more alive than you have in years. That feeling of merely existing will disappear. In its place will come a vitality, an energy, a passion for living that you forgot was possible to feel. Because that's what happens when you finally stop hiding and start truly living. When you stop protecting yourself so much and allow life to touch you. But there's an important detail. This person isn't going to save you. They won't solve your problems. They won't fill your voids. Because salvation doesn't come from the outside, it comes from within. What this person will do is show you that you have the power to save yourself, that you always had it. You just needed someone who believed in you enough to make you believe in yourself again. And when that happens, when you regain that faith in yourself, everything changes. You stop seeking external validation. You stop needing approval from others. You stop settling for less than you deserve just for fear of being alone. You become whole, complete. And then, in that place of completeness, you can connect with someone real, not out of need, but by choice, not out of dependence, but out of genuine love. Now comes the hard part, the part no one wants to hear, but everyone needs to. You're going to have to let go of some things to make room for this person. Relationships that no longer serve you. Superficial friendships that only drain your energy. Self-destructive habits you maintain out of familiarity. Limiting beliefs that keep you small. Old versions of yourself that no longer fit into this new life that's trying to be born. And it will hurt. It will feel like you're losing everything. There will be moments when you question whether it's worth it. When you'll want to go back to the familiar, even if the familiar is limiting, but don't go back. Don't give up. Because on the other side of this pain, there is a freedom you've never experienced. There is a lightness. There is the possibility of being who you truly are without fear of judgment or rejection. Let me tell you something about what comes after this encounter. Because it's not just about meeting this person. It's about who you become because of this encounter. It's about the doors that open. It's about the opportunities that appear. It's about how your entire life reorganizes itself around this new energy. It's as if this person is the catalyst you needed to finally take that leap you've been putting off for years. And there's more. Other people will notice the change in you. They'll comment that you're different, lighter, more present, more alive, and you will be. Because this transformation isn't subtle, it's visible. It shines through you, and some people will celebrate it. Others will envy it. Still others will try to pull you back to where you were. And then you'll have to make choices. You'll have to decide who stays and who goes. And that will also be difficult, but necessary. Because here's the truth. Not everyone deserves access to the best version of you. Not everyone has the right to be present during your transformation. Some people just want to keep you where you are because that's where they feel comfortable. They don't want you to grow, evolve, change. Because your growth exposes their stagnation, and that bothers them, so they'll try to convince you that you're wrong, that you're changing too much, that you're not yourself anymore. But the truth is the opposite. You're finally being yourself, for the first time in a long time, and the people who truly love you will recognize this and will support you, even if they don't fully understand, even if they're afraid for you. They will be by your side, and those are the people you want to keep. The rest, let them go, with gratitude for what was, but without clinging to what no longer serves you. Now I need to prepare you for something specific. When this person enters your life, you'll want to sabotage them. Not consciously, but you will. It's your defense mechanism. When things get too good, when you feel too happy, a voice in your head will say, "This is too good to be true," or "You don't deserve this," or "It's going to end in pain anyway." And you'll start creating problems where there aren't any. You'll start testing this person. You'll start distancing yourself for no apparent reason. And here's what you need to do when that happens. Acknowledge it. Simply acknowledge that it's fear, not reality. That it's your past trying to protect you, not your intuition guiding you. And choose differently. Choose to stay. Choose to be vulnerable. Choose to believe you deserve good things. Choose to trust. And every time you make that choice, you will become stronger, more secure, more capable of receiving love without trying to destroy it. Because that's the great lesson this person brings. You deserve love. You deserve to be chosen. You deserve someone who stays, not out of obligation, not out of pity, but because they want to be there. Because they see you, understand you, value you. And when you finally accept that, when you finally believe it, everything in your life changes. You stop accepting crumbs. You stop being grateful for the bare minimum. You stop settling for less. You start demanding what you deserve and attracting it too. And here's something that will surprise you. This person may not stay forever, and that's okay. Because some people come into our lives not to be the final destination, but to be the bridge between who we were and who we need to become. And if that's the case, if this person comes, transforms you, and then leaves, be grateful. Be grateful for having been lucky enough to cross paths with someone so special. Be grateful for the transformation, and move on, knowing that now you are able to recognize and value real connections. But it's also possible that this person will stay. It could be the beginning of something that spans years, decades. It could be that you build a life together. Not that perfect life from social media, but a real life, with challenges, with arguments, with difficult moments, but also with deep love, with true partnership, with the feeling of having found someone who understands you on levels that you don't even understand yourself. So Taurus, in 2026, when you feel that presence approaching, don't run away. Don't hide behind your usual defenses. Don't rationalize until you kill what you're feeling. Simply allow it. Allow it to happen. Allow yourself to be transformed. Allow your life to be turned upside down. Because sometimes the best thing that can happen to us is to have our lives turned upside down. Because then we discover that we can stand even without solid ground, that we can fly even without wings, that we are much stronger, braver, and more capable than we imagined. And when you look back in a few years, you'll understand that it all made sense. Every pain, every disappointment, every moment of loneliness, everything prepared you for this encounter. Everything taught you something you needed to know. Everything shaped you so that you could recognize something real when it finally appeared. And you will be grateful. You will even be grateful for the bad things, because without them, you wouldn't be ready for this. So take a deep breath. Prepare your heart. Let go of what needs to be let go of. Heal what needs to be healed. And pay attention, because 2026 brings someone special, someone who will change everything. And when that person arrives, the only thing you'll need to do is have the courage to say yes. Yes to possibility. Yes to transformation. Yes to life. And above all, yes to yourself. To the version of you that deserves to be loved, valued, chosen. Because you're not ready for this person. But you know what? You don't need to be. You just need to be willing. And deep down, you already are. You always have been.